Nice. There's a question coming for you, Jeff. Do you only work on the highest grossing games? You're
I was actually
muted.
just typing out an answer to that. At Popreach, generally they assign me to the games that have the highest grossing revenue. Yes, but that's not necessarily always true. Like Popreach has a game called Smurfs Magic Village, and I don't work on that game, and that's generally because they have another product owner who they have confidence in, who's going to be taking that forward and is doing a great job. The other things are sometimes they ask me to come on and consult on a particular game because they feel that there is more potential that the game could have, and maybe the performance of the game isn't meeting their expectations, and they just want to have an extra set of eyes and opinions on maybe how they could improve that performance.
Nice. That's very good. And ultimately, once you start working on it, Jeff, it's gonna be the highest grossing game.
I have a good track record with that, actually. So I've been pretty proud of the success that I've been able to add to a game. Like, it's just added value. The game is doing good, and then when you join the team, you start making changes, and you start making progress, and you start seeing the revenue grow, or your whatever the targets are. Maybe it's the users grow, retention improve. Like, you feel that sense of success and accomplishment. It's like being a Twitch streamer. You just gotta keep talking, keep the audience engaged.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I'm in the rainy UK. Cesar's in Romania.
If I had a topic, I think I could certainly talk for an hour. One of my strategies of getting my daughter to sleep is I just talk her to sleep. Um, just about anything at random, and usually gets her. By the time I'm just talking, she's and she's gone.
That's nice. If you got a trick, because how old's your baby now?
4 weeks.
4 weeks. Wow.
Yeah,
That's
very
crazy.
young. And she's amazing. I mean, I think like all new fathers, like I'm trying to control myself. I'm not sending people photos and like videos. I've been that guy. I've gotten those from people. I'm just like, oh man, just stop. So I'm aware of that behavior and I'm trying to keep it down. But when people ask, I can be like, I can go on forever.
Yeah. You're developing a new relationship with sleep, I'm sure.
Yeah, she's a bit colicky right now, so sleep is a thing that she doesn't really do. So you get what you can, like an hour here, 2 hours there, and then you take siestas.
Yeah. You got to grab the sleep whenever you can now.
Yeah, like during the day, if she's sleeping, you have a nap. You sleep with her.
Nice. What games are you playing at the moment, Jeff?
I'm playing a lot of Payday 2, I think for fairly obvious reasons now. I mean, even before we started working on it, I had 370 hours on Steam for it, so I played it quite a bit. But when I'm trying to relax, I find Elder Scrolls right now seems to be working for me as a new dad because I happen to have it on the Stadia, and so I can actually be playing with the controller and have her sleeping on my shoulder and my arms at the same time, so I can kind of double up. But
Nice.
outside of that, I play all kinds of games. Genshin Impact, if I'm saying it right, I think is just a fantastic, amazing game that everyone should play. It's definitely setting a trend for the way mobile game experiences should be crafted moving forward.
Yeah. It is amazing. Questions come in for you, Jeff.
Yeah, first of all, thank you, Huao, for the nice words.
Oh yeah, no, thank you very much. I'm pleased. Please do buy some licenses. It's good thing to do. Keep us going. We've got an exciting roadmap coming up. Amazing features that we've seen, which isn't just mass color changing objects, but we tested that today. that somehow that feature got lost. It's coming back. It's coming back soon. I was hoping it would be done by today, but it hasn't. We've got some really exciting roadmap coming up. But there's a question for you, Jeff. What's the best skill to master for Liveops product manager? Is it economy balancing or something else?
I think to be good at live ops product management, you need to have a really interesting intersection of skills. You need to understand data so that when you have ideas or you want to look into problems, you know how to look into it. You know what analytics to look at, what kind of charts you can build. So I think analytics is a very strong thing. I don't think that you need to be a master of analytics, but you definitely need to know how to get data and how to present data. Um, I guess presenting is also another good thing. Like if you have data and you want to show it to someone, you want to tell the team, say, here is the problem. I'm showing you exactly where the problem is. And then you kind of need to let the experts kind of address it. So you can say, like, we are having problems on level 3. The players aren't passing as much. And you can go to the designers, the level designer, and say, like, is this a thing that you can help us solve? And then you trust them to do it. I think also understanding, I say game design is, I think, a must, because you have to understand the flow of things, how games are created. You have to know what techniques you can use to get players to engage in certain behavior. And like adjacent to that is read about player psychology, like understand what players are going through, what motivates them, understand the different motivations a player can have. And it's more than just like Bartle's gamer types, like the killer, the socializer, the achiever. Like it's so much more than that. It's so much deeper than that. And that can also help you. Understanding that helps you with everything else. It helps you craft design experiences that are gonna hit the people the way you want it to have. Like, do you want to have an emotional ride? You have to know what drives people's emotions. And if you want to get good analytics and you want to craft the experience, you can then look at the data points that you have and start segmenting users and say, like, players who, like, I want to look for how bad of an experience Cesar is having because he never uses boosts. And so I can use my analytics and filter that out, and then I can get all of the players that are like him and seeing how well they're performing. Like, are they playing the first 3 levels? Then it gets too hard. They don't want to use boosts, and so they leave the game. And so then that would be a type of player that we want to identify and either say, like, is this a problem for us? Like, is this segment of players big? If it's like 3 players, you might go, like, 3 players is not super significant to us as a business. But it might be bigger, and say if we can get these players to move forward, like, it would mean that more ad revenue, maybe these players make a purchase, which improves our overall revenue. So there's like this interesting mingle of things. So design, analytics, psychology, I think, are going to be the things that you should be aware of.
Nice. If we forced you, like, then there was one skill that people went away and they bought a book on it today, because they want to be in live ops, and it was just one subject. Like, what would be your first step if someone wants to be a live ops product manager?
For my, I think it would be Excel or Google Sheets and analytics. I think those two kind of go together. Like, if I were to take on junior live ops, I would want, they need to know math, and they need to be able to chart, and they need to be able to look at data. The things like understanding game design, I think, comes from experience. A lot of people who are interested in working in games probably have an idea of, in general, how games work. And then through working in the team, you would definitely develop a sense of what strategies work for different users. You definitely get a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole on that one. And I always encourage my team to read books. I read books and I recommend them as they should read. A freemium kind of book called Freemium Economics, which is essentially how to build freemium games and their economies. Celia Hodent has some really great books on psychology. One, I think it's Gamer Brain, or the psychology of gamers, something like this. But it definitely gives you a good entry level of understanding of like everything, intrinsic, extrinsic rewards, the types of players that you're going to experience, and what's going to get them to enjoy your game. Because fun doesn't just happen. Like the designers, you create the fun.
Yeah, that's good. Any book name for spreadsheet designs? No, it's Machinations. That's it. Obviously, I think Horia, if you're there, can you drop in the link to Joris Dorman's game mechanics book?
There's also a Q&A, Matthew, if you want to read it.
Oh yeah, are you planning to build game engine plugin that could connect it to the code base and help in balancing the game? Absolutely. In fact, we did a webinar recently where we showed off our Unity plugin. It's a great session where we've actually already got the Unity plugin. We're in the process of developing the one for Unreal Engine and a whole bunch of other engines as well. It's a Socket.io open API. So if you have a custom engine, you could also, if you were to write the engine end of it, you could combine Machinations with that as well. It's a brilliant webinar, and it's a great way where we kind of show the iteration of Cesar was in Machinations model. One of our R&D team was inside the Unity engine playing the game, and Cesar can update and test the game balance in Machinations and make those changes immediately inside the game engine. It was a great session. We had lots of fun. So well worth checking that out on YouTube. Nice. Any other tips? This is a brilliant opportunity, Jeff. I feel I've got you on as a captive audience. If anybody does have any other questions, please do drop them into the Q&A or the chat. Hori has dropped those links into the chat as well for the Unity plugin webinar we did a couple of weeks ago now, I guess. It was a great, really good session.
Tips is hard. I'm better if people have questions they want answered, and I can answer the question. General tips is hard because this audience is very vast, and without knowing a little bit about the people that I'm talking to and their interests, it's hard to create tips. Like I could go on a rant of like the correlations between DAO and stickiness and why it's significant to your average revenue. Like I just,
yeah.
But like people might already be falling asleep in me just saying these
words. No
words.
one's going to fall asleep to you, Jeff. This is brilliant. It's really good stuff. Like, is there a game that you think, especially I think in the free to play market, where you think they do a really good job of kind of balancing and getting their game economy right, outside of your own, because yours are perfect, but is there anyone else you think does a great job?
I think Call of Duty Mobile is a really great game. It offers a really slick experience. And the biggest complaint I get from people, and I always talk them back on it, is they say like the game is too easy when you first start, or it's obviously bots. And I love to talk people through why that is and why it's not bad, it's actually brilliant. So that's a good one. Free Fire is another one that I looked at, but I didn't find Free Fire quite as appealing as I did Call of Duty. Genshin Impact, like I said before, I think like that's the direction that the mobile games I think should be heading towards, like offering players the gameplay first is really what players are looking for. For years and years, we've had sessioning mechanics, and we've had artificial blockers to cause people to spend money. I mean, it works. We run a business, and players do get a sense of joy out of these games. But I think games like Genshin Impact, where they don't ask you for money, but you play them and you go, but I'm having a great time and I want to have that, so I will spend money. I think it offers a better experience for players. And they made their production budget back in a month on that game. Like it was insanely quick, and it wasn't a small budget game either. Like it was 7 million or something like that dollars. that they spent building that game, and then to earn that back in a month in a game.
It was $100 million actually.
Okay, there we go. And it's not a game that says you have to spend money. Like, you can play the entire game, you can enjoy everything that game has to offer, and not need to spend $1. But by the time you get to the end, you probably have, because you've enjoyed the experience, and what they're offering is going to improve your experience. So that's the direction that I would like to see mobile games go more towards.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us this week, Jeff. It's been fantastic having you and getting the chance to go through this experience and get your advice and guidance in this world. It's been fantastic. But so thank you so much, and I better let you get back to your babies. I know it's late at night for you now. So thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. We'll look forward to seeing you on Discord and Slack, and hopefully come and see us in our live stream next week.
Yep. Thanks a lot.
Cheers. Bye.